Namaskar friends, this is NJ, host on this channel. So friends, the topics which I'm going to be covering in this video, those topics are picked up on the basis of your participation and your involvement in the recently uploaded videos of mine. And first of all, thanks a lot for good participation, and my gratitude to you guys and the universe for watching my work. And now guys, the three topics which I'm talking about are going to be: first, the importance of the Mahadasha system in Vedic astrology, and most importantly, how to correctly assess the Dasha system. The second topic is going to be about how you can assess triggering of the major events of your life by involving Dasha, by involving transit. And last is going to be on how could you see the contribution of the divisional charts. Like for example, whichsoever Mahadasha you are running, how can you study or assess its contribution in the divisional chart? So okay friends, to begin with, as you must be knowing about this fact that even Rishi Prashara, great Rishi Prashara, has delineated close to 32 different Dasha systems, out of which in this Kali Yuga, like Yogini Dasha, Ashtotri Dasha, and most popular is the Vimshotri Dasha system. So you have to understand this thing, that when we talk about the Dasha, what is the importance of it? So your chart in itself tells about your possibilities. It is the map of your life with which you are born in this lifetime. If you have to understand the contribution of the Dasha and the transit of the planets. So transit of the planets can be seen as the environment which the transiting planets create around you. Now whether you are going to be heading towards that opportunity, towards that environment, or you will be heading away or like completely in the opposite direction of that opportunity. For that you have to take into consideration whether do you have that yoga in your chart, or whether your ongoing dashas are promising that or not. Now guys, when we talk about the right approach or way of assessing the dasha, so the formulas or the techniques which have been mentioned in the Faldipika as well, they have always emphasized on this, that in your Lagan chart, in your main ascendant chart, which planets time period you are currently running or your dasha is activated or on. All what you have to do is, wheresoever planets are placed in your chart, in whichever zodiac sign, they are going to remain like that only. You just have to make your Mahadasha planet as the ascendant, and then you have to study that what kind of areas, what kind of like specific areas of your life is getting activated in that time period. So let's say for example, if you are born with Aries ascendant, and you're like you are currently going through the dasha of the planet Saturn, and Saturn is placed in your 8th house, but at the same time if in your 11th house you have got very benefic planets. So now what is going to happen is that if you want to study the results of Saturn in its dasha system, and if you will make Saturn as your ascendant, so the benefic planets are going to fall in the 4th house. So that is going to give us this indication that in the time period of Saturn, no matter that Saturn is a malefic planet, and even for an Aries ascendant people, although it is not very well placed, but let's say for example, because it has got the rulership of the house of career, of the house of the wish fulfillment, and you have to look at the other aspect of the planet as well before coming to this conclusion whether the planet is strong or weak. But I mean to say, just only from the perspective of assessing the dasha. So just because from the Dasha Lord, all the benefic planets are occupying the 4th house of happiness, contentment, conveniences, so all these things can be accomplished. And most importantly guys, while doing this, it is always important to study the relationship between the Mahadasha Lord and the Antardasha Lord. So wheresoever Antardasha Lord is going to be placed from the Mahadasha Lord, let's say for example, if it is 4th houses, 4 house away from the Mahadasha Lord, 5th house away from the Mahadasha Lord, or 9th house, so any of the combination of the Kendra or Trikona is going to be capable of giving you good result. And beyond doubt, whenever we talk about the most auspicious dashas, so the dasha of the ascendant lord, Dasha of the 10th house lord and Dasha of the exalted planet always bring good results. See, when we talk about the importance of your ascendant lord's Dasha, so that is going to be seen as the fortunate time when you will get the opportunity to do something for which you are born in this lifetime. When we talk about the 10th house lord planet's Dasha, so it means whatsoever responsibilities and duties you have to fulfill in this lifetime, you are going to get that opportunity. And the third thing is that when we talk about the Dasha of an exalted planet, so I mean to say whatsoever your endeavors are, your objectives are, you are going to get the best support from the ongoing Dasha because the planet is exalted. So now that can be seen as one approach of studying the results of the ongoing Dasha. Now friends, moving to the next section of understanding and looking at the major triggering events of your life, because many of the times, or if I have to categorize, majority of the queries or consultations we receive, they always hover around the concerns of either marriage or the concerns of career. So you have to understand this thing that, let's say for example, we will take up the case of the marriage. So first thing is that we have to first understand whether the native has got that yoga of a domestic life, of a successful matrimonial life or not. The second thing is that whether the ongoing dashas are promising that or not, whether the candidate is of a suitable age or not. And when we talk about the contribution of the transiting planets, so friends, you have to understand this thing that obviously when we are talking about the concerns of the marriage, so Jupiter holds a lot of weightage in that. So the transit of Jupiter is going to be very positive if it is going to be transiting the first house, or if it is going to be transiting the third house, 7th house, 9th house and 11th house. First house is definitely, because first house represents your complete personality, your complete life. It's a foundation of your life. Third house is also very important because from the third house, Jupiter is going to aspect your 7th house as well. 7th house, which in itself is the house of the marriage. Transit of the Jupiter in the 9th house also plays a very important role, because 9th house is the house of your fortune, and at the same time this is the house which acts as a glue which keeps the bond of the matrimonial life intact. And when we talk about the transit of Jupiter in the 11th house, so guys, you have to give attention to that as well, because 11th house is the house of the wish fulfillment, and from the 11th house Jupiter is going to aspect your important house of marriage as well with its 9th aspect. Now one important thing which I have seen many times astrologers do not give attention to is that, see friends, if 7th house represents your marriage, 7th house lord is going to be a representative of your partner. But at the same time, see, you have to understand this thing that wheresoever your 7th house lord planet is going to go in your chart, your partner is in that area of your life. You're going to find him in that area of your life. Like I mean to say, see, all those people who have the knowledge of Vastu, so they generally ascribe or attach it with the direction. So let's say for example, if Jupiter is your 7th house lord, whether in the Lagan chart or whether in the Navamsa chart, so Jupiter, which in itself represents the northeast direction, if it's about a prominent Mercury, Mercury represents the north direction, Saturn represents the west direction, Sun represents the east direction. So I'm not going to make you confused over here. All what I'm trying to say over is that if you are of a right marriageable age, if your dashas are also promising it, and at the same time Jupiter's transit the probable houses which I discussed with you, like first house, third house, 7th house, 9th house, 11th house, and at the same time if Jupiter is going to be aspecting or transiting over your 7th house lord, that can also be seen as a very fortunate and contributing factor for marriage to trigger. And at the same time, see guys, in whichsoever nakshatra your 7th house lord is placed. So let's say for example, if you are born with a Scorpio ascendant or Aries ascendant, your 7th house lord Venus is placed in the Dhanishta nakshatra, and right now like Jupiter is currently transiting in the Dhanishta nakshatra, so that can be also seen as a very positive sign for marriage to trigger. That is how you can do the assessment. See guys, if I will go into the nitty-gritties and the language of the scriptures. So like great astrologers like B.V. Raman sir has also delineated this point that all what you have to do is that you have to add the longitudes of the first house lord and the seventh house lord, and combining that is going to give you the information of the constellation of your life partner. But these days, because we use softwares to calculate the charts, and the approach which I'm telling you, that can actually help you, guide you in giving you the right direction of the triggering of the events. And guys, now coming to the point, like for example, at the same time, if we have to talk about the concerns of the career. So now whenever we talk about the concerns of career, Saturn always gets a major say. So it's not only the transit of the Saturn which is going to be transiting in your 10th house or 6th house or 11th house, but at the same time the transit of Saturn over your 10th house lord can also be seen as a very fortunate time for doing something which your chart promises. So let's say for example, for a successful businessman to lay foundation to his business ideas, or for an actor to give or get his big break. So those time period can actually be seen as a very fortunate time. So what I'm trying to say over here is that whether it's about marriage, which your 7th house lord promises, or whether it's about your career or any of the aspiration, it is also very important, because the house lord which gets the portfolio of that department of your life is the planet capable of giving you that result. That is something which I'm trying to say over here. And the last thing guys, now when we talk about the importance of the divisional chart, I have said this thing so many times on my this channel, that see, whatsoever the actual events are going to happen in your life, situations or events are going to manifest in your life, all of that information you get from your main ascendant chart only. The divisional chart just act as a force behind the screen, behind the curtain. And let's say for example, when we talk about the importance and the contribution of your ongoing dasha period or the mahadasha planet, if you have to study its importance in the different divisional chart, so the approach is going to be the same only. So let's say for example, when we talk about the D9 chart, D9 chart or the Namaskar chart primarily tells about the concerns of the marriage and spirituality. When we talk about the Dasamsa chart or the D10 chart, that primarily tells about the concerns of your career, highest deeds. So let's say for example, if you want to understand in your ongoing Mahadasha what kind of results you can expect at your career front, and if you want to understand it in a very microscopic way, so you have to study the same planet's influence and its placement in the D10 chart or the Dasamsa chart. Let's say for example, if you are in a family business and you want to understand how your relationship is going to unfold during this Mahadasha of this planet, your relationship with your parents, so you have to give attention to the ongoing Mahadasha planets placement in the D12 chart. Same goes with the concerns of the marriage or any of the concerns of the spirituality. So you have to look at the Mahadasha or ongoing Dasha planets placement in the D9 chart as well. Guys, when we talk about all those people who are successful politicians, who are in a very prominent places in the society, so it's their contacts, it's their influence only which always helps them. So I mean to say, you can see the planetary alignments and placement in your D1 chart as the things which can be perceived, which can be seen on the surface, but your contacts, your influence, that can be seen in different divisional charts. So friends, simplifying it and summarizing it, let's say for example, you are currently going through the dasha of the planet Saturn, and in your D9 chart, your ascendant is, let's say for example, a Taurus ascendant. So Saturn becomes a very important planet for you, because Saturn is a yoga karaka for all the Taurus and the Libra ascendant natives. So I mean to say, because of the rulership of Saturn, of the house of the fortune and the house of your career, so I mean to say, in this time period of the Saturn, luck is definitely going to support you, and that support of the fortune and the luck might come through the support of your partner only, and that is going to help you fulfill your duties, your responsibilities, or your public image can also get improved, reinforced. That is how you can see the contribution of the Saturn, your Dasha Lord, specifically in the areas of your marriage. So friends, the other way of looking at is like whatsoever is going to be happening in your career front, that all information you get to know from your main ascendant chart. But let's say for example, just because we are trying to understand the importance or the contribution of the Dasha Lord in different divisional chart, so after understanding its contribution in the D9 chart, now let's say for example, for the same native who is going through the time period of Saturn, and this native in the D10 chart has got the Leo ascendant. So I mean to say, if you will try to look at this native's career front in a very microscopic way, so you will get to know that at the career front, the ongoing Dasha planet rules the house of resistance as well, the house of opposition as well, and at the same time house of fulfilling responsibilities and public image as well. So I mean to say, basis Saturn's placement in the D10 chart, you will get to know whether native is going to surrender to all form of struggle and opposition, or whether because of his hard work, native is going to come out with shining colors and make a mark in the society in the Dasha of the Saturn. That is how you can relate, or you can see the contribution of the Mahadasha Lord planet in different divisional charts as well. So once again friends, all what I want from you people is that your contribution in the comment section, which is going to give me this indication that in next video which all topics I have to include, or whether do I have to take up some reference cases of the celebrity charts or not. Because guys, when we talk about these kind of important topics like studying the Dasha or the importance of the Dasha Lord in the different divisional charts, major triggering events of the life, these are very detailed topics. So it is not possible for me to summarize or completely wrap up these topics in just one video. But yes, I can do my best to at least give you an overview or a direction while working on these areas of life, whether in your chart or in someone else's chart. So for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you.